So thank you to those of you who stuck through it with me yesterday with Dr. Charles Lapp. It was an amazing interview. If you are interested in accessing that, I'll put a link into this the text underneath this recording for how you can sign up to do that. We talked about vaccination for long COVIDers and those with ME/CFS. We talked about if there's a difference between long COVID and ME/CFS or if it's the same thing. We talked about a few things that he has been trying to get approved by the FDA that helps people with chronic fatigue syndrome, and so therefore people with long COVID, and a bunch of other just fascinating things. We answered some of your questions and all those kinds of things. So, awesome interview. And for today, I am in day 4 of an extended fast. I'm going to do it from 5 to 7 days. I'm not doing it for weight loss, though it can be helpful for that, though I don't really recommend jumping into an extended fast if you're working with weight loss or even if you're just doing it for health. I always recommend starting out with an intermittent fast and getting your body used to that, getting yourself used to that. And of course, I'm not a doctor, so always make sure to consult with your doctor first. So with intermittent fasting, you can do it several different ways. You can just skip breakfast, which is pretty easy. You can also start eating at 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. or 3 p.m., or you can do one meal a day, also called OMAD, and that one's great too. So if you are doing it for health and you don't need to lose weight, if you are doing those OMADs, make sure if you're doing intermittent fasting at all, just make sure that you're taking in enough calories to keep up your weight or maybe even gain some weight. The best way to do that is by adding healthy fats in. That's really good for your body. It's very healing, especially for people with autoimmune issues. And it can take some getting used to with that as well, with the fat. So you might need to take some supplements to go along with that. If you're interested in learning more about adding more fats into your diet and how to do that, let me know in the chat or in the comments, and I'll do something to address that as well. So with the extended fasting, I am super tired today, but I think that has to do with the weather more than anything, because I tend to respond when there are big weather shifts, which is what's happening right now. So for example, it's 70 degrees is the high for today, and tomorrow the high is 40 degrees. So that tends to affect me. But what I'm finding is that because I've done an extended fast before, I think I did it for 6 days last time. That was several months ago, but I'm finding that it's a lot easier this time. Yes, I definitely get hungry. Yes, I have times where I'm lightheaded and can tell that I need to take more electrolytes. But yeah, this time through, so much easier. My favorite type of electrolytes, it's a brand called LMNT, the unflavored kind, because once you start adding flavors, you start getting into some weird stuff, but that's me. If your body tolerates flavorings and things like that, then, sure, go for it. And the way that I'm going to come out of the fast is by, first of all, drinking some bone broth that I made, and then starting to slowly add back in some solid foods, probably some liver, because my body tends to respond to that well after I've been fasting. So I know that that's not for everybody either. There are great supplements that you can take, liver supplements that you can take that are super helpful. So yeah, and the last time that I did this extended fast, I didn't have any trouble I started out with that bone broth early in the morning. That felt great. And then I had actually cod liver uh, a little bit later after that, and that went great. And then I personally had a full meal that late afternoon, and that felt great too. I definitely ate less than I typically eat for a meal, but at the same time, I didn't have any trouble with it. So for some people, you are going to need to take it more slowly. So it just depends. You get to listen to your body, right? We get to be our own best advocates, our own best doctors, all that good stuff. Listen to your body. And I think that's it. If you do have questions, please ask them in the comments. I will give out that link to the Dr. Lapp interview, and I'll see you next week.